Hi, this is Ashley back with another reading, and this reading is going to be on Polo G and Nicki Minaj. They have a song coming out on his new album. It's called For the Love of New York, and I want to see how well the record will do and, how they feel about each other. Before we get into the reading, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you turn on post notifications. Okay, so we're going to start off with this. How does Nicki Minaj feel about Polo G? Nicki Minaj. How does Nicki Minaj feel about Polo G? Okay. So, what is interesting about Nicki is that she's trying not to get too attached to these artists, okay? So, she thinks that he is talented, the King of Wands. This talks about somebody that's business-minded, successful, okay? So that's how she feels about Polo G, okay? We also have the Knight of Pentacles. This talks about somebody that's kind of impulsive, okay? This also talks about somebody that does things on the fly. So this could be in regards to the feature, how it could have been like a last minute, or he asked her and then she did the record very quickly, because we know Nicki does do things like that where she's able to do a record within an hour, or do her verse within like an hour to 30 minutes. So, but she doesn't have any attachment to him, which means most of her feelings are just business minded, okay? The Queen of Swords, this talks about being unbiased. This talks about being independent, not depending on others, okay? And so that's basically what Nicki is doing. She's trying to be unbiased, not get too attached to these artists, because as we've seen over the past couple of years with, Megan, Cardi, Azalea Banks, people tend to switch which side they want to be on. Cardi B, Lil Yachty. So she's trying not to get too attached, but she does respect his music, okay? We also have, the Judgment card, okay? So she feels like, people do judge the younger artists easier because, they're not as lyrical as the older generation of artists, like, the Drake, the Kendrick, the J. Cole's, the Jay-Z's, the Nas. So she does feel like people do judge the younger artists, and that's probably why she stuck up for Coi Leray. But she's not really too attached to him. It's more of, a business relationship, okay? He does have the King of Cups. This talks about somebody that's kind of charming, though. So he could have been trying to, I guess, I wouldn't say sweep Nicki off her feet, but trying to be, flirtatious towards her. So the King of Cups, that talks about somebody that's kind of charming, impulsive, easily can sway women. So that could possibly have happened between Polo G and Nicki Minaj, him trying to be charming or flirtatious towards her. So let's see, how does Polo G feel about Nicki Minaj? Polo G, how does he feel about Nicki Minaj? Polo G, how does he feel about Nicki Minaj? Okay, so the Four of Wands, this talks about successfulness. So he does view her as somebody that's very successful. He does admire her work ethic and, how she carries herself. We also have the Chariot card, which talks about somebody that has power. So he views Nicki as somebody that has power within the industry, that he can gain some new fans from. So he's expecting to get some new fans from the Barbs, that may not know his music, okay? So that's one of the reasons why he collaborated with her. The Six of Cups, he finds this to be very helpful for him, okay? Collaborating with Nicki will be beneficial for him, okay? That's how he feels about this collaboration. So he does view her as somebody that's very successful, okay? So it doesn't look like he has any personal feelings for her, okay? The Moon card is here. This talks about a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of fearfulness, and this could be him asking for the collaboration. Maybe, you know, Nicki has that strong personality, so maybe he felt like, you know, she was gonna intimidate him, okay? But he does respect her, okay? He respects her work ethic. He thinks that she's very successful, and he's hoping to gain some new fans from collaborating with Nicki Minaj. He's hoping that some of the barbs that may not know his music, because a few of you in the comments were saying how you didn't know his music. So he's hoping that he can kind of, you know, basically give him more support, basically. You know, the new fans are going to go buy his music. That's what he wants. So it's mostly a business relationship between these two. Let's see. How well will the Love of New York do? How well would the Love of New York, the song with Nicki Minaj, do on the charts? Okay. How well would the Polo G featuring Nicki Minaj, Love of New York, how well would this record do? How well will this record for the Love of New York, how well will this record do featuring Nicki Minaj? It looks like the issue Nicki is having is that when it comes to her collaborating with other people, it's almost like she treats the record as her song. Even like with the Polo G song, she put his, you know, album link in her bio and, you know, telling people to pre-save the record. But it's like she treats it as her own record. The other artists tend to take advantage of that. So the Seven of Swords is here. This talks about working strategically, okay? So it's almost like the record is not going to be promoted well, okay? It's almost like she's going to be pushing the record and she's going to have little to no help, okay? The Seven of Swords, this talks about working strategically, being deceitful. So a lot of artists know that the barbs are going to go hard, and that's why they don't really help with promoting the record. The same thing with Seeing Green. Like Drake barely promoted it, Lil Wayne barely promoted it, and you know, Nicki and the barbs were doing all of the work. Okay, so the Four of Wands is here in reverse. This talks about lack of success. Okay, this talks about lack of success. Okay, the Chariot card is here. This talks about using willpower. So it's going to be Nicki pushing for the record to be successful, but not having any help. Okay, we also have the King of Pentacles. This talks about leadership. This talks about business. So she's going to feel like the business side of things is not going to be worth it. So eventually she's going to stop promoting this record and go to something else, because it looks like she's going to be basically doing all of the work. The Eight of Pentacles is here. This talks about determination. You know, she wants the record to be successful. She wants people to, you know, still feel like she's listening to the young artists and is able to collaborate with them. But she is going to be the only person doing, you know, the promotion. Okay, the Knight of Wands is here. This talks about haste. This talks about fast movement. This talks about, you know, not having the proper team. okay? So with that being said, it's going to be like her team telling her to promote the record, and then his team not really promoting the record. They're gonna go do something else, okay? I feel like they're gonna try to promote that the baby record too. I feel like Columbia is gonna try to push that the baby record that's on there. The Nine of Pentacles in reverse, this talks about being dissatisfied. This talks about not having fulfillment. So she's going to not be fulfilled by the reception of the other team, okay? And the Ace of Wands, more people are going to want to collaborate with Nicki, though. More young artists are going to want to collaborate with Nicki. So that's going to open up for some opportunities for her, but it's going to be the lack of promotion that really hinders this record, okay? It's going to be her doing all the work and then the other artists doing some of the work and then eventually moving on to something else. And then she will too. Let's see. Well, Columbia Records, because I Googled and it looks like Polo G is signed to Columbia Records. Will Columbia Records be promoting the Love of New York single? Columbia Records. Will they be promoting the Love of New York single? They have some anxiety about promoting this record. The Moon card is here. This talks about anxiety and fear. They feel like they're going to put money into it and then it's going to fall off the charts. So they're having some anxiety with promoting the record. They do want to because they know that the fans will buy it. They do definitely want to do that. But they feel like you know, some things are just going to get in the way. They feel like it's going to fall off the charts and that they're going to waste money. The Ace of Wands is here. This talks about they feel like it would be a good opportunity to do some sort of music video, trying to push the record, but they feel like they're going to lose money. Okay, the Five of Cups is here. This talks about lost opportunities. This talks about, you know, not being able to push forward. Okay. And then the Queen of Wands, they do view Nicki as successful, somebody that's independent, successful, easy to work with, but they're not going to be able to recoup all the money that, you know, they feel like they're going to lose, okay? So it doesn't look like they want to promote it, but they feel like they're going to lose money, okay? They feel like it's not going to stay on the charts. It's not going to be consistent. You know, I told y'all about the playlisting, like, playlisting is very important the second, the third, the fourth week. It doesn't matter the first week, okay? So that's basically what I'm getting from this reading. If you like the reading, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you turn on post notifications. This reading is strictly for entertainment purposes only, and I hope you have a great day.